The Valorian council chamber gleamed with bioluminescent panels, casting an ethereal blue glow across the assembly. Commander Thexler stood at the podium, his crystalline exoskeleton refracting light in prismatic patterns as he addressed the human soldier before him. Alex Martinez of Earth. Thexler's voice resonated through the translation collar around his thorax. You have done what no warrior in 3 cycles has accomplished. You infiltrated the Kresh battleship, disabled their quantum drive, and saved 17,000 Valorian lives. For this, our traditions demand we offer you tribute. Alex stood at attention, his combat fatigue still bearing scorch marks from plasma fire. The young soldier's dark eyes surveyed the council chamber, with the same cautious awareness that had kept him alive through 6 months of interstellar warfare. He had joined the Earth Defense Coalition at 19, never imagining he would end up light years from home, fighting alongside crystalline aliens against a parasitic empire. We offer you what our culture considers the highest honor, Thexler continued, gesturing toward a line of female Valorians standing at the chamber's edge. Choose one of our unmated females as your companion. She will return with you to Earth, serve as a cultural liaison, and bond with you for life if you so desire. Alex's jaw tightened. The 5 Valorian females stood in a perfect line, their translucent bodies ranging from deep sapphire to pale turquoise. 4 of them possessed the typical Valorian physique, tall, slender, with graceful limbs and bodies that seemed to flow like living glass sculptures. Their crystalline structures caught the light beautifully, creating an almost hypnotic effect. But it was the 5th one that caught Alex's attention. She stood at the end of the line, noticeably shorter and considerably rounder than her counterparts. Where the others had sleek, angular forms, her body was soft and curved, her crystalline structure denser and more opaque. She kept her gaze fixed downward, her bioluminescent patterns flickering with what Alex's cultural training recognized as embarrassment or shame. Her name is Elsa Vin, Thexler said, noticing Alex's gaze. His tone carried a hint of apology. She suffers from a rare metabolic condition that causes excessive silicate accumulation. We include her to fulfill the letter of our law, but surely a hero such as yourself would prefer. I choose her, Alex interrupted, his voice firm. A shocked silence fell over the chamber. The 4 slender Valorian females' bioluminescence flared with surprise and, perhaps, offense. Elsavin's head snapped up, her internal light pulsing erratically. Forgive me, Soldier Martinez, Thexler stammered, but perhaps you misunderstand. Elsavin's condition makes her unsuitable for, with all due respect, Commander, Alex said, his voice carrying the steel that had earned him 3 commendations. I know exactly who I'm choosing. I choose Elsavin. Thexler exchanged bewildered glances with the other council members. Their crystalline faces couldn't show expression the way human faces could, but their rapid color shifts spoke volumes. Finally, he nodded slowly. As you wish. The choice is yours by right. As the ceremony concluded and the assembly dispersed, Alex approached Elsavin. She stood frozen. Her luminescence cycling through colors Alex had learned indicated confusion and disbelief. Why? She asked in surprisingly fluent English, having clearly studied human languages. I am flawed, undesirable. There were 4 perfect choices and you selected me. I do not understand your reasoning. Alex smiled gently. Walk with me. They moved to an observation deck overlooking the planet Valor Prime. The world glittered below them, its cities built from the same living crystal as the Valorians themselves. Can I tell you a story, Elsavin? Alex began, leaning against the transparent viewport. Back on Earth, before I enlisted, I was studying xenobiology. I was fascinated by alien life, spent every spare moment reading about the species we'd encountered. Elsavin listened silently, her colors stabilizing to a curious amber hue. When I studied Valorian physiology, I learned something interesting about your species. Your people evolved on a high-gravity world with intense radiation. Your crystalline bodies are designed to be dense and heavy, to anchor you against the gravity and protect your organs from radiation. But 3,000 years ago, your ancestors terraformed this planet. They reduced the gravity, filtered the radiation, made it comfortable. Alex turned to face her directly. Over generations, your people adapted. You became lighter, more delicate, more suited to this easier environment. It's considered beautiful now, but it's evolutionary drift. You've lost the adaptations that made your ancestors survivors. Elsavin's glow shifted to a deep violet. You are saying I am primitive? No, Alex said firmly. I'm saying you're adapted for survival. When I read your medical file during the briefing, yes, they gave us all files on the reward candidates, I learned that your condition isn't a disease. It's a genetic throwback. Your body produces the original denser crystalline structure your species evolved with. He gestured out at the stars. Elsevin, humanity is about to enter a bigger, more dangerous galaxy. We need allies, friends, people who understand what it takes to survive in harsh conditions. Your people are offering me a companion, a liaison between our worlds. And you're asking me why I didn't choose someone adapted for comfort when I could choose someone adapted for survival. Understanding dawned in her luminescence, shifting to a warm golden glow. You chose me because you believe I am stronger, she said softly. I chose you because I know you are, Alex corrected, and because I've spent 6 months watching Valorian society treat combat efficiency as elegance and survival traits as flaws. When they offered me anyone I wanted the one they underestimated, the one who knows what it's like to be judged for things beyond her control, the one who kept standing in that line with her head held high, even knowing she was there as a formality. Alex extended his hand, a human gesture Elsevin had studied. I chose you because I don't want someone perfect by Valorian standards. I want someone real, someone strong enough to bridge 2 worlds even when both worlds told her she wasn't good enough. Elsevin's luminescence blazed brilliant white, a Valorian expression of pure joy. She placed her crystalline hand in his human one, the surfaces touching with surprising warmth. Then I accept this bond, Alex Martinez, she said, her voice steady and strong. And I will prove that your faith was not misplaced. As they stood together watching alien stars wheel overhead, Alex reflected on the irony. The Valorians had offered him a reward, thinking he would choose based on their standards of beauty and value. Instead, he had done what humans always did, seen potential where others saw flaw, found strength where others saw weakness. The Valorians would learn in time what it truly meant to ally with humanity. It meant that none of their people would ever be dismissed again, not while humans had a say in the matter. It meant that the fat girl at the end of the line had just become the bridge between 2 civilizations. And somewhere in the galaxy that would change everything.